Hello and welcome to SNHU Esports. We are back with some Valorant. My name is Madav, and I'm here with my friend Shane. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm excited to get the check-in on SNHU Yellow versus uMass Beacons. It's a matchup we haven't seen before on stream, and Yellow in particular is a Valorant team that is always fun to watch. Just that kind of a little bit scrappier, a little bit less by the book. It's always really fun to watch how they play. It's very, very different from Blue.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this game will show out. We actually, for maps, we have a Haven, 3-site map.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
Let's pull.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Overlay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we do have the overlay up. My fault. But yeah, we have a Haven up and Lotus and Split. So 2 3-site maps here. So we're working with a lot of space. And then we have Split as a decider. And I feel like we've seen Split as a decider for most games.
Yeah.
I want to say.
For SNHU, these 3-point maps are really kind of part of our wheelhouse. It's something that both of our teams go to quite a lot. And I think that that's really interesting because it shows that we do kind of like that on attack side. We like to have all of the options we can get. And that's what's really nice about the 3-point maps. A lot of maps, especially maps like Split, which will be our decider, one of the maps is pretty easy to attack, and then one of the sites is really easy to attack, and the other site is almost impenetrable. And this is the case with a lot of 2-point maps. But with 3-point maps, you've got options. Usually you've got 2 sites that are kind of decent picks to go for. Makes defending a little bit harder on these maps just because you have to split yourself thinner, and there are more sort of viable sites to go after more often. But I think it really shows both of these teams picking these 3-point maps. It definitely shows that in this division, unpredictable offense is really the key.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe you did say we're on defense for Haven and Lotus. Is that right?
I believe that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So being on defense there, I'm already trying to think about what the character is going to be, because I know for SNHU Blue they tend to normally have 2 or 1 sentinels, and then obviously the classic 1 duelist, 1 initiator, or either 2 smokers, because if a Viper is picked, you have to have another smoker there. So I'm wondering if the team comp is going to be any different for Yellow, or if it's going to be something more random that we haven't seen before.
The smokes are also great on 3-point maps, especially characters that have that kind of global smoke presence like Viper. Not so much anymore, but also Astra are characters that you used to see a lot on 3-point maps, just because the ability to put down a smoke across the entire map is really strong. Viper's got really good walls on Haven and Lotus. And then you also might see characters like Harbor, who's not quite as global, but a lot of the same things. A little bit of a harder character to play Harbor, because you really have to know your executes. And that can be pretty difficult sometimes, especially for some of these teams in collegiate leagues that might be like club teams or something like that. For those teams, it can be a little bit harder to kind of get that sort of coach support, things like that. Yeah. And so you might see a little bit less picks leaning towards that like Harbor, Astra kind of play style, but definitely characters like Brimstone, Viper, very, very popular on these 3-point maps.
Yeah, building on what you said about Harbor there, with all of like Harbor's abilities, they're all temporary.
Yeah.
So they all don't last forever.
Let's go ahead and hop into Agent Select and go ahead and see what we're rocking with here on Haven, because these compositions are usually interesting because you can tell what sort of side that they're playing for. And SNHU starting on defense, obviously going for a very defense-heavy composition here. Both the Killjoy and the Astra are going to be really looking to lock down the entire map. And when they do go on to offense, those characters like the Jet, like the Breach, are going to be awesome for being able to take these sites. So definitely playing a little bit sort towards both sides, but very, very heavy defenders in the Astra and Killjoy.
Yeah, like you said, having that map-wide smokes there, being able to just place a smoke wherever you are on the other side of the map here. And we're looking at uMass Boston as well. They're going to be having 2 duelists instead of the typical one that most would see, and only 1 initiator Sova. Sova's always good for, I want to say, Haven, like that's like Sova's map right there, because there's so many different angles you can pixel. I think everything's like pixel perfect there,
and it's all open air, right? You're outside almost the entire time, so you can shoot arrows pretty far, land them on really kind of cheesy spots on the roof. Stuff like that is great for Sova's kit on these maps. And I'm actually surprised to see Raze here on Haven, because I think historically this is very much more of a chamber or a jet map if you're really looking at Chamber's not a duelist, but
Chamber got
he's a
nerfed to
duelist.
the ground.
You still see him sometimes, but
Occasionally.
it's on Haven, those are typically the two characters you see, but Raze is just in a really good spot right now. She just the way that she's able to on executes flush people out of positions, there's not really any utility like her grenades or like her boombot in the game. Aside from maybe characters like Sky with the dogs, not a lot of characters that share that utility. So really, really important character. And we'll actually see as we get started off here, SNHU going for a very standard kind of split here, although they're looking to push up mid. A little aggressive here.
Yeah, they're starting off really close here. Blitz is not going to be able to get that kill right away with some Sheriff Sauce. And Case tries to back him up, and unfortunately, will get shot by John there. And Psycho, or I'm sorry, he will get one when Psycho will take him down. But now at a 3v4, almost a 3v3 with Cypher's health on extremely low HP here. uMass Boston is trying to figure out where they may want to push, especially with Snoo's comp right now. They're all pretty much spread out throughout this map here, and we're seeing that Psycho right now is going to start this flank a little bit. He's going to get one on their Cypher there.
Yeah, that evens up the man advantage right there. Now back down to a 3 versus 3. uMass Beacons kind of stuck in their spawn at the moment, though. SNHU not holding super aggressive positions, though. So unsure if they just don't have the intel on exactly where they are, or if they just want to try and play safe. They don't want to take risky engagements that might lose them another player. It's always easier to kind of try and play try and play a little bit more reactively, but the proactive play is really where the big plays come from. Unfortunate nade right there, but they couldn't move forward anyway, and breaking in, Psycho finds one.
Yes, Potato here in that corner, and unfortunately not going to be able to hit the shots correctly and just miss some shots here. But Suka, from flanking all the way around, is going to get one, is going to get two, and the headshot on the other, but is not able to finish him off fully at 13 HP. The first round goes to uMass Boston.
That was so close. What a crazy gunfight right there. Unfortunately, did not go Suka's way. Now UMass Boston taking that first round. They're going to get some guns to play with here. Going to try and set the tempo for the rest of this half, which we'll see if SNHU are able to fire back on the next round. But could see maybe some scrappy. But I saw Suka kind of hovering that shorty, but might just opt to stick with the classics. Not typically too worth it to spend too much money here if you're SNHU. Losing the pistol round, you kind of just want to save up, wait for round 3, get your guns.
Yeah, especially being stuck in this closer corner here. The shorty could be good, but Dylan is having the Spectre there and is just going to be able to just run on by. And now they're going to have control of A here as SNHU has to start to play retake. We do see their Jet about trying to go on the flank there. Blitz is going to get shot by Asado, unfortunately for SNHU. But now with the smokes being planted here, or sorry, the smokes being down, SNHU has to try and push out through here with only having classics.
Yeah, these are some really tough sight lines to be pushing with classics, but they've got nothing to lose. They just need to try and push forward and take this. John's going to find Psycho, and it's going to be down. Last two members of SNHU down to the last one. Potato goes down. uMass Beacons just quickly cleaning that one up. A flawless round is really awesome for them in terms of just keeping everything ship-shape. No one's down any money. No one's going into this bonus round without having, adequate firepower. SNHU will get a chance for a little bit of an advantage here as they have rifles. uMass Beacons are just going to try and ride out these Spectres as long as they can, try and save some money.
Yeah, they may try to play or go for a site that's a little bit closer here. It looks like they may be trying to go onto B site. With B site, the only long range fight you really have to worry about is through grass, and after getting onto site, everything's pretty close. So yeah, the best bet may be trying to just push that, or maybe garage and possibly do another rotate. But it looks like they're just going to go straight into B here. Quick, fast push. No one's really on defense at the moment. SNHU is just going to hold back and play with their Vandals here, and we can see that they're already on site, and they're going to plan for default. They're going to plan for grass there, and their Cypher here is going to be on the lurk a little bit, and checking cam is always good, especially if you have that on bomb as well. And Suka is able to start this round off by getting one kill, and the Potato is going to peek out and he's going to fall, unfortunately. Psycho going to be able to avenge him though, picking up 2 there. And he's going to make it a 4v3, but John's in the corner. K is going to turn around and get him there. Psycho being the last one in the corner, and Blitz going to get the final kill on him, making it 1-2. SNHU finally getting around on the leaderboard there.
And they're going to give that ult point over to Cyclo, who's already got his ultimate. Astral Divide could show up anytime soon. And that's going to be something that is really able to close a lot of distance, which both teams have guns, both teams rocking pretty much full Vandals, but that Astral Divide is mostly going to be used for, likely what you'll see is retakes, just kind of carving up the site and making sure that you don't have to worry about all of the really aggressive angles. And then combined with that, Astra can also deploy your smokes at the same time, really start to cut things up. It's one of her most valuable aspects, is the ability to kind of just be a solo smoker on your team, and you don't really have to worry about coordinating two players doing different smokes at different times. Just all of her abilities are kind of smokes, and she can completely flood the map if she really needs to. It's nice to just be able to put that on a single player and have the rest of your team focus on something else.
Yeah, like you said, Astra being able to have multiple abilities there, having that concuss, the suck, and again, like the smokes, they always come back after, I believe, 30 seconds there, and that's way enough time to have over 3 smokes down for a round, and that's really all you really need there. And right now, uMass Boston really taking it slow here. They're not pushing as hard as they did last time, because now they have these long ranges and they can take these fights if SNHU decides to peek, but it just doesn't look like they are going to fall into that trap there. But Blitz is going to be in the corner there. Unfortunately, a mishap wallbang will get one, but Asado will get the trade off on him there, and that was Spike. So SNHU does have some information on where they could be as they are leaning towards more the A side, and it does not look like they're going to try and change where they're going to go. They're going to keep pushing towards this A here. As Suka tries to get towards the top, it could be a possible kill of multiple right now. John coming out, the recon as well, and they're gonna start to get plant down. Case gonna be able to kill him off there, and now they have to play retake.
Really important that they didn't let running back get any value. Mostly what it did was clear the site, but we'll see the Astral Divide come in for SNHU, and that is going to completely block off all the defenders' positions. They're going to have to kind of a coordinated push right here. The Boombot goes through, and that's going to be Dylan, who goes down, along with Potato, now 3 versus 1 with just a Soto left.
Yeah, that camera there can be poke him out a little bit, but will get the kill. Psycho just waiting for him to peek out as Case gets that defuse there. Going to be able to make things 2-2 there, and I mean, in terms of rounds right now, I'd say they're both doing pretty well, with SNHU winning 2 rounds in a row. I'd say their money's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, something notable here as well is that both of these rounds, the last 2 rounds, have been retakes. So for SNHU, they're 2 for 2 in terms of retakes, and if you're uMass Beacons, you're really looking at how you can try and reinforce that. It's not hard for them to get onto the site and get the bomb down. It's protecting it that's the hard part. And yeah, some of that can be credited to the Astral Divide coming out, spending that Astral ultimate that you got very early. That's pretty nice to have, but it's not just that. It's just a little bit of defensive tactics, like everyone holding the same angle, just a little bit of miscommunication maybe that's causing them to give up these retakes a little bit easier than they would like, which we'll see uMass Beacons now starting to move in here on C-Site.
But yeah, we're seeing that super come out, just hopping right past him and picking out the wrong time there. Zeph is able to get the kill on Psycho and Potato as well, and John being one to trade him out as well. Now being on C-side there, they're gonna try and hopefully get bombed down. I assume for long, like most plants happen, long tends to be the best area to plant there. And SNHU now has to play around. We actually do see their
Look
Cypher,
at this lurk,
though.
yeah.
They're all the way around from A. They're going to be able to probably maybe get a couple picks here as they're super close and they're all bunched up. Their Cypher could have the kill of the century right now, but SNHU is going to be pushing out onto site, waiting for this retake, and they're going to try and get this defused. As you can see, these long lines are just not too well. We do see Asado getting 2 there as a flank, and now only having Blitz. He has to try and get that pick there, and he will, making it a 1v3, but they're all back in long. 2 of them in Cubby here in those lineups, and the line as well. It's just the post plan is just gonna be so hard for him, and it's not worth to try and push that. He's gonna go back and save and get the money that he needs to keep.
Yeah, it's important not to lose your guns at this point. When both teams are even in terms of rounds won, the economy can become really volatile. Whichever team loses a round just a little bit too decisively can really find themselves starved for cash, and we'll see that with the rest of SNHU's team. Some of which Suka opting for maybe a Sheriff, although it looks like they will be able to get a Vandal. 3 Vandals on the team. Other 2 players, Case and Potato, are not going to have that luxury. Going to be playing with a little bit of hero rifles. Going to see that Stinger come out. Psycho's going to sell that Vandal. And looks like they're maybe looking to try and consolidate a little more. Go for more of a full save, really just try and play that hero rifle, which Blitz, he can play pretty safe with it. He's got that dash to work with, not at a huge risk of dying there, but Potato taking the early tag. That's half his health gone.
Yeah, that turret there, maybe trying to get some information, but unfortunately just not being able to get it up too fast there. But like you said, half his health already gone is going to be a disadvantage for SNHU, not to mention that the guns are just not as strong as theirs. We do see the breach with the Sova right now. Case hiding in the smoke could be a little bit dangerous as they could be peeking towards grass right now, but it looks like looks like a uMass Boston is going to try and make their way over towards A with a possible lurk, and this could be huge because Zeph does have bomb right now, and as he's lurking towards Cycle right now, if he's able to pick up this kill, they could just hold Spike, but it just doesn't look like that's going to happen for them. Going to be able to get that first pick is already going to put them at more of a disadvantage than they need to be.
uMass Beacons completely, 5 up right now. Compared to SNHU, which are only missing 1, but we're pretty far into the round and they have not committed towards any terms of long engagement. So it looks like they're going to try and finally break in here. Blitz breaking back, not able to get away.
Yeah, now they're already going to be on site here, going to start to get this plant down, and they already decided to use a Cypher ultimate there, and they're going to get the information of where they are. If anything, I figured they may not even need that. I figured they could probably use it for a later round there, as they may have more stronger guns, but I suppose they don't really know that as well. And Potato and Case, and it's their Sova as well, not having the best guns for long range here. They just have to work with what they got and maybe get a pick or two, and hopefully that will be able to be enough for SNHU, because the ultimate is good, but it's just the Soul ultimate is good, but it's just not going to be good enough for these fights here. And it just looks like another possible save questionably, and again, that Cypher, the lurk that he has is just going to be crazy as well. And SNHU as well is only really looking for picks, it looks like. He's just not really doing anything. Maybe trying to go for the defuse, but there's no real point there. Asado gonna be able to get that kill on him, and it's just they're all dead. They're all gone.
I really am unsure about that hesitancy right there. Right,
it was a lot of hesitancy.
They weren't saving anything. They had just pistols. There's no reason to not push in there. But I guess they got a little bit intimidated by the setup that uMass Beacons had. They did have a lot of information. They did have a lot of utility, but you still just have to try and make those plays. And especially the moment that they got spotted out by that Neural Theft, the Cypher ultimate, they were all just camped outside of A,
right? And
they didn't rotate or anything. They didn't try and find a different angle. One of them tried to go up to heaven, but never ended up actually peeking it. And that was just a little bit of a kind of stall there from SNHU, not quite sure what to do in time. Potato finds 2 though, and that is an incredibly early lead. He's not going to get away with it, but the damage is already done.
Yeah, Zeph coming out with that Silver ultimate as well, and Dylan is going to help him as well and just get Psycho. Now making it a 3v3 with most of SNHU towards B side here, and uMass Boston is rotating. They're not going to capitalize on the fact that they just killed all of the defenders on C, because typically you only have 2 defenders per site, or maybe maybe you only have a couple per, but I feel like 2 defenders on a site is a pretty big amount there. And even if there was 1, there are 3 of them here. And we do see that Cypher lurking again once more, but they are going to go for the A plan as well with the Sova ultimate, and the breach stun as well is going to immobilize them, and going to be able to get 1 kill there, and Raze is going to be left on super low HP.
And that's bombed down too. I'm not sure if they actually have visual of it, just barely not able to see it, but if they know that that bomb is down, they should have gotten a notification for it, but Dylan wasn't able to get away with it, and that could be what they expect. Looks like they actually can see it, so just gotta hold this down. A lot of people not in the site yet, and Asoto's just gonna be able to exploit that. Gets caught with his camera out, but no big deal. He's gonna take down Blitz as well, and that's just Case outside of sight.
Yeah, with the 1v2 here, Raze being on super low HP, this is definitely not impossible for Case to really try and retake this. Not to mention, his E ability is out as well. That is going to get Raze. The Boombot is going to detect him, though. And now the crossfire is there. He just has to play his utility well and try to get both team members at the same time. On Soto, it's just going to get him when he's not looking there, unfortunately, for SNHU. uMass Boston is going to take the win for this again, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean, another issue, and I'm not surprised to see a timeout come out here, because I think a big issue with SNHU right now is just a little bit of fear. in terms of whether or not they actually want to try and push on something. They had the spike down. They knew that they killed the spike carrier. They could see the spike on the ground, and they didn't move in for more aggressive positionings. They continued to hold the safe position, and I'm not sure if that's just a miscommunication or if it's a little bit of a misunderstanding of the whole situation there. But that really should have been a big round for SNHU right there, because you had Dylan, who was like on 7 HP.
Right.
He was going to die to one tap, and so it didn't matter that SNHU had bad guns. All they had to worry about was a Soto, who was able to lurk up all the way from behind. There's no one watching that. That was really kind of a blunder right there.
Yeah, Soto's been doing that for the last couple of rounds there. He's been able to lurk all the way from A to C or to C to A, wherever he's going. He's just been able to make these long-term map flanks there, and it's so hard to expect them to, because when your team's planning on a site, you're expecting that all of them are going to be there. You're not expecting someone to flank from the beginning of the match to all the way to the very end. Like, that type of pace, it just takes forever, and it's not something you'd really expect.
And that's something that good ciphers are doing, right? They've got the information to work with, and they're being proactive about having that information. They're making plays off of that information, not just trying to counter whatever play they see.
Right.
So it really is kind of creating openings for his team. Soto has been really, really big at sort of opening things up, but still just a little bit of issues from SNHU. Hopefully that timeout can change things up a little bit.
Yeah, we're already seeing right now that most of the team is going to be on the flank here. Zep is going to get cycled right away, though. John as well, as they start to push up onto C. That's both defenders down right away, and we're already going to see that SNHU they do have two flankers flanking right now, and Soto always with the lurks as well. Going to get Case right before he can do anything more, and with these sheriffs, they're running down as fast as they can. They will get one, but Dylan will kill Blitz in the end, and Suka, being the last one remaining, has to decide if he can really get these picks that are about to happen right now with a 4v1, and they know where they are. They're gonna circle him like just like flies, and then he's done.
That's a tough spot to be in. For SNHU, I mean, they didn't have great guns to work with. They'll be able to buy up this time, kind of just ripping the band-aid off on that eco round and just getting it over with. I really would have liked to see, especially when you're using pistols.
Yeah.
You really have to play around those close range angles. So even if you have a sheriff, like, yeah, you can one-tap someone from half the map away, but at some point it's not going to one-shot headshot anymore. And you got to worry about your actual sightlines. You're going against people who have Vandals. They're going to be tackling those sightlines way better than you are. You need to be playing a lot closer here, and this is really close, and that is an off-down
right
going
to the
uMass
leg.
Beacons.
To the leg, 5 HP there, and Suka will get the kill on that, but only after getting hit from a headshot wallbang, left on 46 HP there. uMass Boston now going to have an operator for these long-distance fights, and they got control of sight pretty fast here, and we do see Soto already going to be lurking into the smoke. If he will get a pick onto the breach, and he will, just playing in unknown areas where SNHU is not expecting it. They're just trying to go there, and it looks like they're actually not gonna plan here. They're gonna do a rotate. They're gonna do a full map rotate.
SNHU have already spent utility on A. Why not just go somewhere else? You hear that recon bolt? You can just go to the C site if you don't want to worry about pushing the solo who's up in heaven. Not that uMass Beacons have had particularly big issues pushing in, but why not just go for the safe play? They know, like, oh, there's only 3 people alive. There's 3 people at A. I can hear them all. Just run to C. And that's exactly what's working out for them. The lockdown could potentially put a wrench in their plans, but Cyclo not able to find that tag, and it's actually not going to stop them from pushing at the end of long. This lockdown going down, and unsure how much value the smoke is going to get, especially with run it back up.
It could be a little bit
pop it.
Yeah. Sorry, you go.
No, they will. They're pushing into the site, and John is going to get tagged right away. Psycho gets sprayed through the crate. John just got through there. An unfortunate headshot strikes him down. Just a Soto left, and able to find one, not able to find much more than that. SNHU are able to find a round, which they haven't been able to find in the last 4 rounds. So starting to get a little bit back into the game here.
Yeah, definitely there. With that plant down, it was a little bit weird seeing how uMass Boston played that. I mean, they had sight on A there, and they could have kept playing it, but they did a full map rotate. I mean, they had the time. It just threw SNHU's balance off a little bit there, but that lockdown coming down, Soto was gonna go over to garage there, but after most of uMass Boston getting picked through the smoke there, with that run it back, not to mention the recon that just allowed everybody to spray through, even if they were blind. They were just able to get these picks, and Soto just couldn't do the flank that he originally wanted to do, and ultimately he had to fail for that round there.
Blitz extremely far forward, gets tagged from behind though, and not quite ready for Psycho to push him from behind, but John John's already found 2 kills. It's down to a 3 versus 3.
Yeah,
the
a
round
lot of
has
trades.
just started.
A lot of trades happening early on, super fast there, and they're quick pace too. I mean, SNHU is getting super aggressive on defense, and I feel like that's the one thing you don't really want to do. I mean, it can throw some attackers off occasionally, but I feel like overall, if you're gonna play on defense, you should just stay back and play defense.
Yeah, it can be pretty difficult, especially when you sort of flip sides, like if SNHU are in the attacker spawn. It can be kind of difficult to get back in. Attack there is going to catch Suka through the smoke, and Asota's going to be able to spray him down. His whole team gunning through that. A 2 versus 3 now, SNHU. Psycho on site. Still have Potato making the rotation. We'll see if he's able to find anything to open this up.
Yeah, I mean, he does have his Astral Divide there. It may not be the best time to use it as they are already on site, but with the 2v3, if you're able to get one pick, it turns to a 2v2, and then it's all a matter of just communication and teamwork at that point. Potato gonna try an entry out here. Psycho will get one on Dylan there as he drops down. The camera takes him. They are gonna get some information.
Ooh.
Potato is able to get one with only a subtle left. It's gonna be a 1v1. It's gonna have 150 HP, and Psycho only going to be having 70 here. The clock is tipping, and he has to try and get this. And Asato is going to get the kill on that right there. He will get half though, but it doesn't. I mean, you don't get anything.
Yeah, Asoto had his spy cam still up there, so he was able just to check and see, like, hey, are you faking the defuse? Yes, you are. I'm just gonna wait. And that kind of stuff going uncontested, it's pretty difficult. Asoto definitely kind of running the lobby right now. 16-6 is a pretty nice scoreline for a Cypher.
100%. I mean, he's been lurking. He's been able to, like you said, just camp out bomb and just wait and just his cam is just so good. I mean, you can destroy it very easily, but in those situations where
you have to know where it is.
Yeah, in those situations where you just can't, and especially in a 1v1 like that, you can't just turn your back to an angle that you may die at. So you just have to play with the circumstances that you're given.
Yeah, especially these lurks do a ton of damage if you're not ready for them, if you're not clearing your corners, if you're not having someone always watching behind you, which you see uMass Beacons doing right now, having a few players still sitting over in spawn while the 3 players kind of approach towards a site and make sure that it's clear, which they don't feel too confident about pushing into there right now, so they're going to try and back out, maybe try looking somewhere else. Asoto's called that no one is looking down C long, so the rest of the team is rotating this way. Psycho about to peek out. Actually, don't think he saw the jiggle peek for a second, and Psycho's going to get some pretty big info off of that. I don't think he saw anyone else behind Asoto, and Asoto's typically the lurker, so you're not going to see any rotations come out because he could be alone, but there is a whole lot of people back there.
This could be a little scary. With Psycho only having a pistol there, and the run it back gonna come out as well. John John's gonna come out with a flash, gonna get Psycho right away. Potato gonna shut him down, but the showstopper is gonna trade him right back out, and they're able to get control of the site super fast there. Suka and Case gonna try and get this retake as well with Blitz, and again, like before, they're not gonna have the strongest guns here. There is the Rolling Thunder that could be played, but it's just not worth it with these. If they're all going to be in C long and you don't have the guns to headshot them from far away or do enough damage to where you can, it's just not worth it. The Marshall can be great, but only if you're able to click heads there. And the blind comes out as well, only to stall point more, but Case will get 2 with his ability there.
Word? Just 2 with Aftershock like that? Okay.
I mean, it's I think it's 150 for 1 tick there, but 2 of them are in garage right now. We do see the Rolling Thunder. He is able to pick up a Phantom, and they just get rolled. uMass Boston.
That was a crazy play. Rolling Thunder down the alley, and while they're concussed, run up and grab the gun in front of them.
Yeah,
that's creative.
That's a power move.
It didn't work out, but that was creative. I like the ingenuity that went into that one.
That's crazy though. The two kills from Breach's ability, it's Aftershock, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
falling.
What is it? It's
fault line.
Fault line.
Fault line's the one that concusses. Aftershock is like the blast over.
Yeah. I think it's only 1 blast though. It's only 150 blast. It used to be multiple blasts, but I think they just made the time longer. And then it's just 1 singular damage, I'm pretty sure.
And they didn't really have anywhere to retreat there. If they wanted to get away from it, they would have to walk out into the alleyway. There's a Marshall looking at them. Blitz with a nice little early pick. Suka could find something very soon, about to make contact.
Scary. Oh, this is going to be scary. He is able to get 1 there, and it's just going to back off right away. Once you get 1, you just don't know how many are there. And it looks like they're making, well, uMass Boston putting a lot of noise onto A there. They're actually going to be going onto C. And they are going to be able to get this. We are going to see the Hunter's Fury come out as well. Going to stall that plan for a little bit longer time than they need to be. And he's going to be, Zep's going to be left on 50 HP. Psycho left in a little corner there. Going to get one on Case. The blind comes out as well. And it's a 3v3. Spike is planted. They have 2 abilities. Now a 3v2. Dylan is going to get one on Suka there. Possibly another Blitz is going to, or sorry, Blitz is going to get one on Dylan. And now Psycho's the only one. He did get some information there. Left on 9 HP. Is able to get one, and Blitz is going to be the only one remaining.
This is a scary spot to be in, but he's able to get the final shot, take out Psycho, finds 3 that round. Blitz opening it up. Going to get the defuse here, bring things 4-8 for SNHU.
Yeah, uMass Boston, I think they played a little bit more up than they were supposed to be. With 3 of them on site there, I feel like they pushed out a little bit. If they stayed back and just waited for SNHU to push up, I feel like they would have had a higher chance of winning that game. But being at 4-8 is not a bad spot to be in at all.
Yeah, this is yeah, like you said, not a bad scoreline to be at. The thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is that you've got, you know, that Killjoy on attack, which is going to get a little bit less value, really only finding use for the abilities in on either covering flanks or after you've already got the bomb down in an after plant situation. But that Astra is going to have a whole completely different game here on offense. And really that's going to be kind of the executes that you're looking for. UMass Boston, they had smokes, they had that Omen, but it's a little bit less of an all at once execute with Omen than you get with Astra, who can just pop it all back to back to back and it will really quickly cut up a site.
Right. And, you know, again, with the site being cut, a lot can happen here. And Blitz is just going to blitz onto site, get that one on Asada there. Potato as well, walking through the garage. You're going to get 2 quick picks right away. And SNHU is going to have full control of C site there, as well as a part of garage if they do decide to stay there. But now UMass Boston has to play retake, and it's a 2v5.
Yeah, I mean, that's the really nice thing when you've got a Jet and you've got a Breach, characters that are really good on attack, because you can, if you know the usual spots where people hold, you can put your utility there ahead of time and then just suddenly break in with your team. Really quick and impressive offense there, which we'll see. John starting to peek up now, throws the flash out, peeks through, is able to find one, but Potato strikes him down. Psycho gonna find another, and SNHU take that pistol round.
Yeah, it was actually able to get a lot of people blinded with that flash, with the Phoenix flash popping a lot faster than before. Unfortunately, just not lasting as long as other blinds do. But the fact that it's able to activate so quick, because even Breach flashes, I'm not sure with the exact time, but when a Breach flash comes up, it's pretty fast, but you have time to at least turn at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Before it fully
the Phoenix flash spends probably most of its fuse time behind the corner, and then it pops out. You get the pop flash.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit trickier to deal with, but like you said, doesn't last quite as long. So you can't really take as many like 1v3 plus fights as you can with other flashes. But Blitz playing extremely far forward right here, and is actually able to catch Dylan out. A lot of kills coming out for SNHU, and they're able to just quickly clean up that round.
Yeah, I mean, it looks just UMass Boston. I mean, doing the same thing that SNHU did, just getting that other round over with. Once you win pistol round, I mean, you're just playing with classics. You can try and get a couple picks, but I mean, there's no certainty of that. So what do? You just run down. You just run down spawn.
A lot of teams, you know, kind of feel like pistol rounds can be a little bit volatile. They can be a little random because if you don't get that like one tap with your Ghost or with your classic, then suddenly the whole fight kind of just becomes like who is able to AD strafe better and spray down the other person with their pistol that has super random spray. So a lot of teams will just try and play very aggro, just run at you with a classic, right click you until you die, just because it's not less random, because you are just running at someone and hoping that you kill them before they can headshot you, but I think it feels a little better to get that classic headshot.
True.
With the right click.
Definitely. I mean, and not to mention the right click has been nerfed several times.
It has, yeah.
And it's so inaccurate now. But I don't know if I saw this right, but I think their Cypher, UMass Boston's Cypher, has an Odin. On C there, and that's just like, that's crazy, just playing behind there and using cages for tripwires, and it looks like a little bit of interaction happened onto B as well. But again, SNHU not making a full commit to any site yet. I'm really excited to see Odin plays on Haven. I haven't seen Odin on Haven ever. I feel like the only time you should use it is like to break the garage door.
Because what he's going for here, right, is that you've got the tripwire down and the jet will dash through it and then get sent back, locked in place, and then you just spray her through the wall.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of like very much a jet hard counter here with this play that they're going for. But hey, that could work out for them here, especially as Blitz starts to make his way over there. Just have to see if he watches for the tripwire, because this could get really deadly really fast if he decides to dash in. And he will destroy the tripwire. The Cloudburst coming through now, and SNHU are going to take the site pretty decisively.
Yeah, just getting back there. Unfortunately, he was going to get spotted by that recon, and not to mention that he does have the Smite skin, the best skin, on the Odin there as well.
Thunder JPEG.
Just makes him 10 times more stronger than he needs to be, and Suka is going to start this round off as well with getting that pick on Dylan there as you know, as they start to kind of push out as well. Potato will get that kill. Psycho going to get one on Psycho. Psycho going to get one on Psycho. It really was there. And Blitz is just gonna hold this angle on a Soda here. The Thunder Odin is just gonna be so good there. That cam as well gonna get enough information for them, and the fault line will come out to stun them as well. And it just doesn't look like it's that big of a commitment to really push that, because once Silva falls, once Zep falls, it's a 1v. It's a 1v5. Psycho there. It's gonna make my words come true.
It's all right. The Odin is making it home.
Yeah, he's
coming back
for another day. He will, and I wonder if he will use it now with Psycho coming out, the Thunder Odin coming out, and he's good for his. He's got it.
He got his. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true. He can now make that argument with his teams. Be like, I got mine.
Yep.
I don't know why we couldn't run their one.
I'm good for one. Now the issue here is that SNHU have won their bonus round. So UMass Boston, their economy is a pretty rough spot. SNHU very much skewed to get the 4th round of this half in a row. That can set them. They're skewed to tie the game, right? It's going to be 8-8 if they take this round. That is a incredibly unfortunate start to this half for UMass Beacons, because that lead that they worked for is just gone off of some questionable economic plays. But Blitz is going to find Zep there right at the start. That's going to completely crack open C site. And SNHU have to worry, or sorry, UMass Beacons have to worry about rotating over, and that's going to spread them even more thin.
Yeah, again, like you said, just being spread out more thin, it's just going to have more defenders in places where the attackers aren't, and we're seeing.
I don't know about this trip.
Some gnarly trips right now. I didn't even know you could connect it there. I mean, it would throw anybody off, me for sure. But John here with the Sheriff, it kind of gets smoked up. Unfortunately, not going to realize that there's like 3 people in long their case. However, he is going to get hit right away with those nades as well. Going to fall, and Psycho is going to avenge him by getting that one pick on Dylan there. Left on super low HP. I want to say that's like 1 HP. You can't even see the color on that health bar there. They are going to get bombed right away. Psycho with the Marshall. If he's able to click heads, I mean, it's just worth it. I mean, you can do so much with that Marshall as well, but being stuck by smokes, and again, that Odin just spraying out there. Psycho left on 1 HP. We're going to see him drop down. Suka will get one. Blitz as well, and the trades happen again. That Phoenix Wall just giving them the line of sight that they needed, and was able to pick them all off, now making it 8-8.
That Odin is so bright on the ground. It's like calling out, like, please pick me up, but they're not going to go for it. The Odin will be lost to time. SNHU tie things up 8-8 here. A great start to this half, and UMass Beacons are going to get the chance to buy up their guns. They had a chance to buy on round 3. Unfortunately, weren't able to find a victory there. So they really need to take this round. If they don't, they're going to struggle again economically, and that's going to skew SNHU to get even more rounds that are easier than they should be.
Definitely. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was flanking like that far. He just came out of smoke. So I'm like, no way. And they don't kill him there. But SNHU, instead of kind of poking out towards A there, it looks like they're kind of making this decision to all push out towards C, except for Potato, which may get a kill, but unfortunately the headshot is just so bad there. Blitz is going to get one on Dylan as well. Left on 45 HP, the Astral Divide comes out, and they're just able to take site without a worry. Asoto is going to sleek on right by, but is able to die. And Zep is going to get one with the Shock Dart with flanks happening as well. Psycho is going to fall, and John getting Suka. Case getting Zep, and John being the last one remaining to run it back can only do so much. And he's stuck there. He's back there.
And now this one's for real. He's got to try and push in here.
Yeah.
Case, he's good on it, man. 9-8. SNHU take another round let's see how uMass Beacons are faring economically. They're going to be able to buy light armor and rifles if they want. Their loss bonus is getting pretty high up here, but if they do that, they're going to be completely out of money.
Yeah, I feel like at that point it's just like you just can't win at that point.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so much.
So it's going to be tough. We're going to see a little bit of forcing here as John and Zep buy some bigger guns. Soto and Dylan, though, still deciding. Look like he might upgrade to a Sheriff. Soto might try and play off of someone else's gun. But yeah.
Probably like a buy for next type of play,
Yeah.
I had to assume. Oh, and they are just rushing out. uMass Boston just running in there fast as possible. Gonna get one on Potato, and Psycho is gonna shade out Psycho again there. And they're all just, I mean, they just pushed out super fast, and now they're back into their normal spots.
Now, did they get his gun? That's the real question. I don't think they did.
I'm not too sure if they did receive his gun there. If their Cypher was able to get that, but if they did, it would be super helpful. But it also wouldn't matter at the same time because it's almost a 3v4 with the health that their Raze has. It's just super low, but John staying in this one spot, not pushing up anymore, could get some really cheeky kills here, especially with the Stinger. Can always do so much damage. Suga could fall victim to it, but it looks like he won't, but he will be left on 15 HP there. And now onto Sight Blitz, may get another kill onto Dylan there. Crisp headshot.
A little overkill on the headshot. Didn't need to do all that.
I thought it was crisp. It was nice. He got the ADS, the one tap. It was clean.
You blow like a brisk wind at that guy and he's dead. But Zep's trying to go for a wallbang there. Not going to find it. uMass Beacons down to their final 2 trying to break onto the site here. And again, they've got nothing to save except for that Marshal. So they need to try and take this, even if it's going to be very much an uphill battle. And they're really just going to be funneling out into kind of a meat grinder here. This is not a good situation for him, but...
Ooh, the cage comes out. Psycho will get a headshot on him as well, and Zep gonna get him out. Is gonna get one kill right away, but the pistol from Blitz is just gonna stop him right there. And once you have the pistol out against a Marshal up close like that, it doesn't spray as much. Sure, it can do more damage, but like, when have you ever seen a Marshal in Classic 1v1 and Marshal wins that?
Very
like,
much
from that close.
Very much a similar situation here in the second half to the first half, except we got the roles flipped. As we see uMass Beacons go for the timeout there. Clearly, need to go a little bit over the defensive playbook because they're struggling to really find a solid foothold here against SNHU. They are losing these sort of rounds where they have opportunities to work with, right? Like the bonus round, they're not finding value on that. They're not finding value when they have guns. And now, I mean, they did just save. So they're coming up on a round where they will actually have an arsenal to work with. They need to just kind of revamp exactly what they've been doing, have a quick pep talk with the coach. He's going to point out everything that's like, oh yeah, by the way, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. And then they're going to hopefully revise that going forward. But yeah, for uMass Beacons, this half is really starting to get away from them, which is scary because the first half went so well.
Yeah, how many rounds did SNHU win in a row there?
I think that was their 5th.
Their 5th streak. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, they're on round 4.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. It's 10-8, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's 6 rounds consistently.
It was 8-4 at the start of the half.
Right. So 10-8 is kind of crazy.
You really want to the first half, you need to try and make the lead you get in the first half count as much as you can, because if things flip like this and SNHU finds 6 rounds in a row, then that advantage you got in the first half is completely invalidated. And now SNHU just coming out of the running start here. Unfortunately, for John, not going to be able to find too much value there.
Yeah, just going to die to Cage right there. And his teammates are going to help him out a little bit, but it just weren't there fast enough to really get a trade. But Psycho is going to get 2 picks. Psycho getting picks on Psycho. Why do both of them kill each other? It's so hard.
I know. It's always them making contact. It's got to look out for that.
My God. Just seeing headshots after headshots this game. You can't make fun of me now.
Clearly,
these crisp headshots.
Clearly, their coach just told them to hit their shots.
And they're just like you want to win? Just hit your shots, dude.
Have you tried shooting them in the head? It'll actually kill them instantly if you don't know. Clearly, it's working out for them here. Psycho finds a 3rd. Suka peeking out into him. Gonna put an end to that kill streak right there. It's 1 versus 3. No one's close to the site yet, but we'll see them starting to approach, and Suka really doesn't want to try and plant here. Beat the timing on that is crazy.
I know. You just getting those picks can mean everything there. Suka looks like he's just gonna.
No way, dude.
I bet you if he peeks the corner, it's gonna be like on the side of the map here. But being super close, Dylan is just gonna hold that angle and back away nice and slow, getting that kill, making it putting a stop to that 6-win streak. Look at that scoreboard.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I you know, clearly it worked out for them. I do think that the just rush out of A to control long, pushing into their spawn, unfortunately, John died for that sin, but Psycho was able to pick it up, and he was able to find way more kills than he needed to. I mean, that really opened the round back up for them. I'd be maybe a little bit more skeptical towards those very much just rush out as defenders, because you can really end up in a bad situation if the defenders are down in players, because they have to split evenly, but another very early push is going to catch out Blitz.
Yeah, just playing really differently here. Playing more aggressive, but playing with its teammates. So being able to get those trades, I feel like that's what they're doing differently. Before they used to just kind of push up with one defender, but now with two, being able to secure a trade, you're more confident. You're less scared. I mean, you're just going to be able to hopefully get a strong pick, and Asoto is so close to the killjoy, and he will get one of Potato. I mean, he saw his gun, but I mean, just a run and gun. I mean, that meta has not changed.
That was a spray right there. We'll see the divide coming out to block off Heaven as well.
Oh my god, Psycho! Getting 3 picks there, that TP as well into the smoke, just running into them and just getting 3 kills, all headshots. It's just going to make things back up to 10-10.
Hey, if Psycho wants to get 3 kills every round for the rest of the game, that probably would make the game pretty easy for his teammates, right?
Most likely. That's, what a change. Whatever their coach said. Literally what you said. Just click heads and you'll win. And they've just been doing that, 10-10 now.
They called the timeout. They said 60 seconds, open aim labs right now. Right now. Hit your shot.
I mean, I feel like that's like the biggest thing that's changed. They're just able to play more confidently, and they're able to peek these angles that they didn't peek before. And now uMass Boston is just always going to have a player to really stick with, almost like a little buddy system, and just to kind of be able to have these trades that they may receive. And I was going to say towards Garage, I'm not sure if they were going to push out or not, but
this is an interesting spot they've got themselves wedged in here. Psycho is going to get caught out again by these aggressive early game pushes. If you're SNHU, you might just consider sitting back and waiting. Soto!
Oh my, getting
spiked down.
2 kills right there, right away. Blitz is just going to have to push into it and try to get more, but there's literally like 4 of them there. How will he get out of this? The raise bomb as well is going to block him. Their case has his back. 4 of them are going to start to push out possibly, but that aftershock going to push them back as well. Being able to pick up bomb as well, now having the control of Spike a bit. uMass Boston is going to take things a little bit slower, but they have angles on every possible area that they could approach.
This is suffocating.
They're basically sandwiched here, and as they can only really go towards C unless their raise calls out something. But Zep stuck towards C site is gonna get these possible first picks here with John as well. Coming out, will get one on Blitz there, and as another one on Case. Like John picking up 3 kills that round, and that was the most randomest like push I've seen from like uMass Boston. I don't know what they did, but they're just playing even more unexpectedly that they did in the first part. In the first half, because they played weird when they were attacking. They would go to one side and then they would go to the other, and then
a lot of fake outs.
It just be so different. And then now they're doing that on defenders, which is kind of crazy to me, because I don't know how well that works, because you're defending, you're not attacking.
It's working out pretty well.
Yeah,
I really have a feeling that this is a sort of just issue for SNHU in terms of how to deal with defenders that push up too aggressively, because it's not a bad idea to do it every now and then, but if you're pushing up very aggressively every round, like at some point the other team, if they just sit back and wait, you're gonna walk right into their sight lines, which Peeker's advantage is a thing, but it's very, very tough to consistently find value off of those just extremely early game rushes into the enemy spawn as a defender, and the reward if you get a kill If you get one kill, the reward is not that great. It is a player down for the attackers, but the defenders still are going to have always less players on a site than the attackers pushing into it.
Right.
So it's definitely much more of a detriment to have a dead defender than it is to have a dead attacker.
Definitely. I mean, it's just crazy. Just I don't know. It's just like uMass Boston just plays like
look at
crazy.
this.
Like,
look at this.
Yeah, exactly. They have
A's
no
open?
one on A. No one on A, but they push out everywhere else, and that just happens to be the one site that they're not on, and they have to push through it now because I'm gonna freak if they flank their own. If they flank, if the whole team flanks, that's gonna be crazy here. Potato it's gonna get killed by Psycho there, and the blinds are gonna come out, and it may be big there, and John is gonna get Suka right away, but it looks like the rest of SNHU is just gonna not really take their time and go as fast as they can onto site there, not making a full commit, not planting there yet, but there's...
See, this is smart from the Beacons, right? They flipped the map, essentially.
Yeah.
And they're rotating back. They're rotating back through B. They know B is safe, for the most part. And now they're going to try and take this site from 2 different angles.
Run it back.
Ooh.
Coming out as well, Blitz popping out the ability, but John's there, or sorry, Raze is there to kind of have his back, and John will get one on Psycho. The knives gonna get one on him, and Blitz is just stuck in a really bad position. The showstopper coming out, but he misses.
No!
He misses the knives, and Dylan getting the headshot is gonna pick up that kill. Case is gonna fall to Zep, and that's gonna be the 12th round, aka the 4th round in a row that uMass Boston is gonna be taken.
That's match point for Beacons. Now SNHU, they've got to take this into overtime if they want to come out of this map ahead. They can't lose any more rounds from here on out, which Beacons have been kind of on a hot streak right here, and we'll see SNHU also struggling a little bit financially. So if they don't come out on top this round, the next round is going to hurt.
Yeah,
the loss bonus is pretty big at this point, all things considered. So they'll have enough money to force. They won't be playing with pistols, but it's still going to be extremely rough.
Definitely. I mean, like you said, just this last round and even the loss bonuses that you have, it's just going to be super hard. They have to push it out as fast or as best as they can, and Osoto is just going to make sure that that Case doesn't do that. He's going to shut him down right away, and SNHU really has to think about where they want to go. uMass Boston has been playing so tricky. They've been pushing everywhere. They've been flanking everywhere, and they've just been playing really different. I mean, we saw that smoke coming out, and normally there's a flanker there, but John is gonna play even a more different angle than before. We see Zep as well trying to get some information, relaying that to John. It's gonna be in this corner, but it looks like Suka is gonna get the read on that, and Zep pushing through the smoke. Like, you don't see this happen. uMass Boston just playing more tricky than they need to be, but SNHU has learned that so many times. They're not going to trust it. They're not going to push through this. They're going to wait for him to come out there, and he will get the kill, making it a 3v4.
And that's Sova dead as well. We'll see Spike trying to get...
What is happening?
Way too close. Back up, man. Back up. But with both Omen and Sova dead, the chances of a retake here are pretty low for the Beacons. They need that. This is pretty much just an aim duel here. Maybe they've still got some paint shells to work with here, but unlikely that they're going to have all too much. And this camera actually...
Why can he not place it?
I think he needs that line of sight. Yeah, that's weird. The moment he throws that out, though, everyone's going to know exactly where he is, and he will be able to get a tag. I actually heard the camera get placed. Cyclo peeking out here. Soto can't find it.
Dylan just being the last one remaining as well, and Psycho just gonna get both of them, and this I think they're actually gonna be in a pretty good spot here. With only having one fallen, they're not gonna be in a terrible position.
That was as clean of a round as it could have been. That is exactly what they needed at this point. They are one more win away from taking this into overtime. The Beacons need to try and clinch this out before SNHU have the chance to do that, because once you get to overtime, it's endurance, man. You have to be able to hold up longer than the other team, and you don't really want to put yourself into that situation voluntarily. It can be kind of random because you don't know how good the other team is at just playing for a long period of time.
Yeah, you just gotta be cautious wherever you go there, and luckily we saw that with Zep. They're trying to push out, and they were just able to hold that and get the pick on that. And It looks like I was gonna say Zeth is leaving Spike there, or leaving a site there. We're actually gonna see that Rolling Thunder come out as well. Unfortunately for SNHU, no one is on site, and there was no value out of that really.
Fortunately for them, no one's on site though, so they
That's
just
true.
Give,
That's
just
true.
give a free plant right here. It's gonna be really hard for them to push through this divide. They have to clear area just back in their spawn. The lockdown comes out. That's gonna kill 10 seconds off the clock right now. So they're really only gonna have about half a minute to try and push in here. Psycho finds a Soto. That is a huge pick to get.
Dylan's got his back though. He's gonna be in that corner there in the turret. He's gonna get some information, and Psycho will help finish that off as well. Not to mention that SNHU does have the Hunter's Fury, which can be used for post plant. It can only be so good for just stalling more and more time. And it looks like this round is already going to be so much in favor of SNHU, but I could have spoken too soon there. Psycho going to get one, but Blitz is going to get that kill on Psycho, now making it 12-12, and we're going to go into overtime.
That's another shortcoming of the strategy that the Beacons have been using, where they are pushing out aggressively very early on, because we see when that happens, they have to leave a site open. On these 3-point maps especially, because you have to really rely on sort of playing defensive on these maps. It's a lot harder to play aggressive on attackers, or on defenders, sorry, unless it's a retake situation. Then you suddenly have a lot of flexibility to work with, but you really can't play too aggressive without just sort of leaving a part of the map open, which what happened right there. They gambled. SNHU won the 1 in 3 chance that they would go to a site that no one was at, and the round was essentially given up for free.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, if they were gonna play something like that, I figure why not have Cypher set up at A and then have him rotate to B? You know what I mean? That way you still kind of have a map covered, but not fully here. But Blitz is just gonna play so forward there, with Psycho being right behind him. Just got caught in the crossfire, and that's 2 kills already going to uMass Boston. Psycho is gonna get one on Potato as well, and now it's a 2v5, and they just got bombed out.
Yeah, this is a tough situation for SNHU to deal with. Fortunately, in overtime, you have to win by 2. So it's not game over if they don't take this round. They're going to flip sides and then try and play that side, which is where things get a little bit random, right? You rely on playing multiple rounds against teams like offense to learn their offense. You can't do that here. You're constantly switching back and forth, so it can be a little bit more unpredictable here. SNHU, I mean, they're on site. They've got control, but they just got to worry about people from outside.
Oh, wow. Suka there, just jumping out and getting that kill on Soda, though, being the normal flanger that he always is going to get picks on him, and Case being the last one remaining. It's just going to fall. I mean, I don't know how they didn't see that coming, honestly.
The lurk, that's the thing. You know that the lurk is coming, you just don't know from where.
And you also just can't put too much attention on it either, because the bomb is ticking. You have to make a move, and whenever you start shooting, Soda's like, oh, they're not paying attention to the lurk. That's my time to shine, and he's just able to just get those picks.
It's really tough. You want to have, like, both teams have a character that can really look for these lurks, right? Your Cypher and your Killjoys, those are your anti-lurk characters. They need to be living until the end of the round.
Right.
Because if they're not, suddenly you lose so much intel. And as teams swap sides here, we're getting a chance to see SNHU take the offense. If Beacons win this round, they're going to take this map. SNHU's got to try and keep their head above water.
Yeah, it looks like Beacons is not going to take any risk whatsoever here, not really pushing up, and going to be able to hold the sites that they were really meant to hold here. We do see 2 trips on C and on A there. It's just the map, the global coverage that Cypher gets is pretty crazy when it comes to attacking sites here, and Blitz is he has to play so cautious. We do see Psycho there with the blind coming out. He's gonna get most of the team, and he's pushing out, and the cage pops, and they don't know he's in there. But Zep is able to get him right away, getting 2. He's gonna stop SNHU's push, but Suka in the corner is gonna get 2, 3 right away. Dylan trading him out, and Psycho gonna get Dylan, and it's a 2v1. It's all left down to John there. He has the wall and the blind, and they're
taking Spike away.
They're going to do something that uMass did and just rotate completely to another side here. However, Potato is on B. They're going to play a little bit more sneakier and could get this possible free pick, but John is cautious. He knows that he might be there. Peeking too early, he's going to make him get the headshot on him, and it is going to be a 1v1. It is all down to Psycho right now. And
he's just got flashes on the wall. He does not have the volley, but he doesn't need it. He's going to pick off Psycho there. And the Beacons are going to close out map number 1, taking Haven. A really, really great map there. Both sides got a chance to show really how strong their playbook is on offense. that was really a key factor there. Both teams got the chance to really just sweep during their offensive half.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, it came down to overtime there. Always just kind of. I don't want to say it's a coin flip, right? I know we just lost. I'm not trying to make excuses, but it is kind of random, right? Because you get those unpredictable strategies that can sort of cheese that around are great. Which is, I'm not saying this is cheese, but. when when the Beacons completely changed up their pace to play completely defensively, they totally caught SNHU off guard.
100%.
And that's what we mean by saying that's volatile. Is that you change up your strategy, it's like 3 times more effective in overtime, and that's what it was able to really close out the map there for the Beacons.
Yeah, because everybody's stressed, everybody's into the zone there.
Yeah.
But now with finishing off that map, we do. I believe we have Lotus up next, and we'll see you soon there. We'll see you soon to that map. Until Lotus soon.
We're gonna throw to a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Hope you had a leisurely time on your little 5-minute break there. Now that we're back into some Valorant, we're gonna be starting off onto Lotus, I believe, on defense. It's gonna be I'm pretty excited. All right, sorry, map overview. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. It's another 3-point map that we're going on to right here, and for Haven, it was a close game, but it wasn't close the whole time. Both teams essentially swept in their attacking half. So they're seeing both of these teams really skewed towards that offensive side and having a little bit more of a developed playbook for that side on Haven. We'll see about on Lotus if things tend to play around the same way. But if they do, it is SNHU's pick. So they'll get to decide which side they want to start on. So that will be... they'll get a feel for which side they like more, and they'll get to play a little bit more towards that advantage. Let's go and hop into Agent Select here as we get ready for Lotus. This is a pretty similar sort of composition here. Still running that Killjoy and having that Astra as well. But we're seeing some variety here, right? We were talking about how that Viper is a really big pick here on these 3-point maps, just because you have that global presence, and especially on Lotus, where I feel like Haven feels like a lot more of a square, whereas Lotus is a little bit more of a rectangle. Viper's able to get the sort of walls for to go across the entire map. So that's not a big deal. And that's something that gives her a little bit of strength here as well, along with the Astra, which is also going to have that same benefit. The big issue last map was lurks, particularly on Asoto, who is playing Killjoy this time. So another Sentinel could potentially still go for the lurks.
Yeah, I guess the only issue is with this is that Killjoy, there's an area limit to how far her gadgets can really go. If you go out of that area, her gadgets get turned off, and it's not like Cypher where if he kills, the gadget gets disabled. Same thing with Killjoy, but with Cypher you can go as far as you want, and your trips will still be active. Or at least I'm pretty sure they will be.
I think that is the case. Yeah. Killjoy definitely gets penalized a little bit more because almost all of her gadgets rely on you being near them. So if she roams too far away, she's really going to have to pick 2 points to stay in between here. And we have a Killjoy on both teams as well. So it's not like it's a side-specific shortcoming. That is going to be something that both teams are going to have to play around. We'll see, just in terms of notable differences on these teams, the Fade is a really interesting pick here on this map. I don't think we've actually seen a Fade in a while. It's been a very long time since I've seen Fade here on this screen, and on this map in particular, it's not a particularly common pick. So we'll see them rushing straight into B, and K's immediately gonna have to fold and fall back, but John could push up here.
Yeah, it could be really scary of what John could do. Those pop flashes are extremely scary there. And Zeph is going to start this round off by getting one on Cycle there. Case now going to have to try and peek these angles super slowly. And Suka is going to have a little bit of trouble getting that as well. The Skyblind's not as fast when it's too close there. And Potato, John and Blitz and Case and Dylan all getting picks very rapidly here. And they have to retreat soon. There was that tap, and Blitz is now on 22 HP with only a classic, with the bomb being super far away. The swarm grenade coming out. Zep knows where he is. He just has to run now, and Asoto gonna get that pick on Blitz, and the first round is gonna go to UMB.
Yeah, Beacon's immediately starting off very fast, and this seems to be where they're in their element. They're really able to overwhelm SNHU defensively incredibly fast. That's something that the Beacons is particularly strong suit for them. And SNHU, we've seen on Haven, it was the same thing, where it took them a little bit of time to get used to exactly how the Beacons push. The moment that they kind of get that figured out, then things become a bit more even. But you only have so much time in the half, and you need to figure that out before it gets away from you. So SNHU are on the clock here. You need to find out what makes the Beacons tick in these pushes. And we're already seeing a very fast push come out here.
Yeah, really running over towards Mountain there. Potato is just going to be in this corner. That swarm grenade is going to do a little bit of damage to him. The alarm bot as well, going to make most players vulnerable here. But unfortunately, just no one's able to follow up on that. Potato is stuck in the corner with the shorty, is able to get one on John. But Dylan and Zep is also going to give the rest of the team and Case, or sorry, not the rest, but the people that were pushing it anyways. And it's a 2v3. Psycho does have a classic out. I mean, that's all that he can really afford here. And I mean, they're just stuck in this area. I think that was a fake TP, if anything, and Cyclo just gonna get I mean, he's just gonna get picks. I mean, they got Spectres,
It's
and
tough.
they have lesser guns.
It's always tough on the second round there when you're playing into better guns, but Beacons will have to play into better guns now as SNHU get the chance to buy up, and here is really where we get to see the full extent of their sort of defensive side. Their first look at it as they look to try and definitely play probably longer angles with these Vandals, and that's going to really potentially stop the Beacons dead in their tracks if they walk into those long sight lines. They don't really have any guns that are great at spraying at long ranges. They got the Marshall, but you really need to hit that one shot, and if you don't, then that Vandal will be able to one-tap you or spray you down, either or.
Yeah, that Marshall being super devastating there, but Case is going to be stuck in a similar situation as before there. Having that wall up is going to do so much, as well as that Molly is actually going to move him a little bit out towards, not default exactly, but a little bit farther there in Case, and John could have had a close event, but the pop flash comes out, and it's just so much at the same time there, not to mention the wall as well, and they're all starting to push out now. Case is gonna get one, most of UMB is gonna back up, Psycho following up on one as well, the blind comes out, but Asoto was able to turn around and get 2 picks right away. Suka caught in the reload is gonna fall, and it's all down to Potato there, left with 2 people that are just in different areas. We'll get one, and now we'll get the other on Zeb, really clutching it out, making it 1-2. So luckily was not able to die to UMB's bonus.
Yeah,
wouldn't have been too good.
That is pivotal for SNHU's sort of pace in this half. Losing that bonus round we saw last game, you lose the bonus round and your economy is really sort of questionable for the next 2 rounds, and you easily run into the situation after you lose the bonus round where you don't have enough money to buy, so you have to save, you're giving up more rounds constantly. That's a round you're supposed to win there, so the fact that SNHU were able to take that round is awesome. They did have 4 people go down, so they had to rebuy all their rifles. So their economy is still not great, but the important thing is that the Beacon's economy is not good either. It is mutual destruction right here, and just making sure that no one can buy any guns is way better than only one team being able to buy guns.
Of course, I mean, if you're all gonna be, if one person's gonna be lower, might as well have everybody also be on that same standard there. But Case is actually going to pick up the judge here. If they do decide to randomly rotate towards B, Case could be in a really good position here. But for UMB, they're all really pushing or trying to push towards A right now. Suka is going to get caught in the smoke, and I mean, it's not a lot is happening. It seems like they're executing a lot, but Suka is going to peek out a little bit, getting one on Dylan, and the rest are going to rotate towards Tree with their Omen as well. Kind of being the only one in that area with Bomb could be devastating if they are able to get that pick on him.
We'll see. Yeah, Beacons are pretty entrenched in here right now. They've got this side room completely taken over, but SNHU, they're still holding on to this high ground. They're still 5 strong, and that's the important part. We see them watching for those lurks, which haven't really come into play yet. Beacons definitely preferring to play more as a pack on this map so far. But we'll see them start to back up a little bit, maybe start to move towards B. Zep finding a nice pick onto Psycho there. Now 4 versus 4.
Yeah, their Omen just using their ult to really just kind of bypass Sky's lines there and get to Bomb right onto site right away. Suka will get one on John as well as Soto gonna be on the flank as well. I don't know if that was a spray or if that was just from information, but he's going to be on the flank, going to get Case as well. Blitz is also going to fall in this corner here. Unfortunately, will fall. Just not looking in the right direction either. And Suka, just being the last one remaining, will have one blind there and might be able to get it to half, or he could just fake. I was going to say he could just fake it there, but Psycho was able to get him right before the defuse happened there. Now we can get 1-3 and just they have 2,000 credits to start with.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. SNHU are going to have to save on this round. Beacons are going to have almost full guns. Again, they're still not extremely well off in terms of money. They're still struggling a little bit to put enough funds together for these guns, but they're definitely going to buy a lot better than SNHU, and they're going to have to save, hopefully try and get some kills around these corners. That's where the Classic really shines. The Sheriff can play from a little bit longer, but you still really don't want to be dueling. You want to go for just like one peek, maybe you find a one tap, but we'll see here. Blitz caught out very far forward. This is huge information, and It's gonna
it's just gonna get sprayed down right away there, especially with the classic. Not enough damage was being brought out to UMB, and they just all sprayed him out there. John gonna come out with that flash, gonna do so much. A headshot will come out, but a kill won't. And Dylan and Zeph are gonna get 2 picks right away, just like that. Now making it a 2v5 case, and Case in the Killjoy here just left behind, not really having that duelist flash or being able to kind of entry that well. It's just stuck in this area.
There's the info, but at what cost? Potato's dead, Case at 18 health. Doesn't have anything to save for, but Zep is gonna just push up, put him down. 3 kills for him, and a flawless round for the Beacons. Really nicely done there. No damage taken at all in terms of economy, and that's going to keep them afloat pretty well as they start to build up their bank accounts here. SNHU able to put some guns together here, but again, look at their money. They're extremely low. Not all of them can even buy full shields, opting for those light shields instead, so they're going to be a little bit less vulnerable. It's still, I mean, the other team's running full Vandals, so it's not like a big deal.
It's not, because actually, if you really look at the stats, I'm a nerd about this. I've mentioned this before, but the Vandal, it takes 4 body shots to kill. And with a light shield or heavy shield, it still takes 4.
Yeah,
so
the breakpoints are the same. You know, it's really only going to matter if you're fighting someone who's using their pistol for some reason, which could come into play. But we'll see. It's a little niche.
Right. If you happen to have to use the whole clip of the Vandal, which is really, if both you and the other opponent is just missing all their shots for a quick 20 seconds, then that could come out into play there. But playing really slow again. UMB just taking their time though, and Soto will get that first pick as they start to execute onto B, but it doesn't look like they're making so fast of a pick right away. They're not jumping in as fast as they used to. Blitz can be stuck in that corner. He has to move, otherwise he will die. John is gonna get the pick on that, and Zep getting Psycho, but Suka is able to trade him out right away. Now having the lockdown and the Seekers there, it could be wise, but I don't want to say that because the bomb is already planted and the timer is already ticking down by the second here, and just attacking on B is so difficult because there's 4 different ways to retake it.
And the moment you start putting pressure on, Beacons have got tools for this, right? If they're really scared that you're going to contest the bomb, they can always just pop a lockdown.
That's true.
It's not a great use of it, but it can still eke out this round, and a round is always worth it. Though it looks like SNHU holding back, just trying to save. Hopefully they can stay alive here, so you can make contact with Dylan, able to find that. A nice little exit kill. Just gonna do a little bit of damage.
I was gonna say Soto may get him there, especially with his lyrics. He's always gonna be super quiet as well, and just he's being stuck in that corner. It's a post round kill, but we do see a timeout coming out as well. I don't think I'm really surprised to see a timeout either. It's kind of the same pattern that we saw last round. That they've been able to just kind of capitalize on their. I don't want to say it's not as weird. You can kind of there's no pattern, but they're not playing out of the blue like they did on Haven. Right?
Yeah, this is very much more kind of reined in for the Beacons, which makes sense. This is SNHU picked this map. So it's definitely a little bit more of their territory here. So you would hope that the scoreline was looking a little better than 1-5 at this point. For SNHU, it seems like they're starting to kind of get things together a little bit, but the main issue is still these post-plant scenarios. Once SNHU loses the bomb site, they are having such a hard time breaking in because, everyone on the team who has smokes, everyone on the team who has flashes is dying on site.
Right.
And the few times where we've been off site, it's really just a lack of using that utility on the retakes. And so in a lot of ways, those flashes and smokes never come into play on these post-plant situations, which is really, really unfortunate for SNHU because I feel like you really need to kind of cut up the sites here. A lot of these angles on the bomb sites, like on A and B, a lot of those angles are just commanding, and they require you to block them off in some way. And if you can't do that, then you're trying to peek out. Your 2 people are going to be looking at you. It's a big issue here. And we might see the Viper's Pit come out on B, just try and stop any sort of rush. Unfortunately, Beacons are over towards A, but could cut off a rotation.
True. I was just going to mention that this round specifically as well, and the last rounds, just their economy has just been not in the brightest spot as well, but Soto will get one on Blitz there. That was a really weird angle. I didn't know that could possibly be peaked there, but the the run it back is going to get Psycho right away, and John is just going to create so much space and get so much information, and that's just going to be a safe plan for A there as they try to get this rotate potato, getting super close there, will not be able to find a pick on Dylan. And they're all on site, and they're all just gonna play super carefully here. Case having the judge was good on B, but for retakes, it's not the best, especially on A.
And look at our post-plant situation again with who's alive on SNHU. Suka's dead, so the flash is out of play now. Case gets sprayed down. In Viper especially, if you're retaking, it can be really hard because you need to go pick up your smoke. You can't pick up your wall once it's down. Your smokes are committed. She's way more of a defensive smoker than she is really able to play around retakes. You can set up your smokes in kind of intelligent ways to play for retakes, but you're giving up that just like sort of hard wall that she wants to put up and completely block off a site.
Yeah, I mean, you can play, like you said, you can play for retake with Viper, but you're also gambling that chance they do push that site as well. Yeah. Because there's 3 different sites, and if you're setting up for A or B, I mean, there's still the option of C as well. And I actually didn't know that Spa was wallbangable with the Odin there.
With an Odin, it's everything. He can shoot wherever he wants, but we'll see. UMB starting to break onto C site now. Made contact, but Potato's falling back, and Beacons are not pushing in yet. Slowly making their way in. The lockdown comes out. Gonna try and guarantee this. This is a really early lockdown. This is actually great for SNHU because they're still 5 strong. This lockdown is going to be completely out of the way. All this lets Beacons do is get the bomb down, which they haven't even gotten it down yet. A lot of time went by where they weren't putting the bomb down, and that lockdown wasn't doing anything other than just letting them stand there for longer. So SNHU in a good spot right now. Gotta worry about Zeph here.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have a lot of utility to come out as well. The blinds are gonna come out, gonna get most of them, and Blitz is gonna fall into Psycho right away. The Odin really coming in. We are gonna see the Nightfall come out as well. 2 of the Killjoy Storm Grenades coming out, being left on 1 HP. Potato just kind of has to try and stick this. We do see that Showstopper, the Astral Divide, is gonna catch him a little bit off guard. Are they gonna get it? But Soto getting a 4-piece there, just wiping out most of SNHU 1-7.
Just ran out of ammo trying to hold that choke. A really good Astral Divide there, but it ended up kind of they didn't just have enough guns looking at the opening, and the bomb was unfortunately just slightly too far forward where you could kind of see the Killjoy peeking over. I like the play that SNHU were going for, but again, it just didn't work out. Just not hitting like the shots they need to, not conserving the ammo they need to. Vandal, I mean, it's only got 25 shots. If you're gonna be spraying, you're gonna run out of ammo faster than a Phantom.
Definitely.
So you gotta keep that in mind.
I mean, yeah, there's
goodbye.
Now that was crisp.
There's the one tap. That's
multiple headshots just happening with UMB right now. Just absolutely, all of them are just locking in. Yeah. Every single one of them, they're all locking in. John gonna get that pick, and it's only left for Potato. They know where he is. They're gonna see this flash come out, and he's gonna die. They're all headshots, just gone.
Something the Beacons are doing great in this half is they are not losing players on pistol rounds. When SNHU have to eco, UMB are not losing any value. They're
really not.
No one's dying. They're not losing any money. Look at they're at max money on some of their players. SNHU are barely scraping together 1,000 credits right now. And it's a tough situation. The economy is completely lopsided. UMB have enough money to play for the rest of the half. Soto's only died once.
Yeah, once. One time during 9 rounds. He's only died. That is baffling. That is baffling, I have to say. But this Odin spray every single time, it's so funny. Dylan is gonna get just gonna get a pick right away there and just start to really full commit towards A. By this point, UMB isn't really scared anymore. They know what they're doing. They're pushing up. In Case is gonna see. I wasn't even sure if Zeph was gonna get him there, just kind of egging him on a little bit. Dylan as well is gonna fall to Blitz, however, is gonna get that pick. Now making it a 2v4. The Showstopper is available as well, but Psycho is just playing in such a weird angle, especially with this Odin. Could just catch him off guard here, but it doesn't. Blitz will get that headshot, will get 2. Now making it a 1v2, however, left on 32 HP. He has to try and figure out where these guys are. That Fade ability is gonna get most of them, gonna get that information of Soto is just going to pick up that last kill.
I love the way the Beacons are playing angles here. They always have a crossfire set up, and that's really important. They take their time getting to the position they want to, they always rush in, kind of take a staging point first off, and then from there they slowly begin to kind of work the area, and they start to set up these crossfires that are really deadly. The way that they take and control space is awesome. I love the way the Beacons are doing that, and it's clearly working out great for them here as they take their 7th round in a row.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a bigger streak than SNHU had there.
Yeah.
Just being able to kind of keep up with this momentum, whatever they're doing, they've been doing right. Like, what is that fade ability there? I have not seen that before, and it's just whatever they're like. They're not worried about what they're doing. They're not really hesitating at all, really. And we're already just seeing them push out towards Mount Potato, playing a bit of a cheeky spot, but it just gets checked because John is just he's just too big brain. He knows where everybody is. He's gonna push out. They'll run it back, and he's just gonna get control of sight there.
Now the showstopper could be big here. Now that the Beacons have got the spike down, we'll see them go into their post-plant situation, which has been really strong. They've been great at sort of holding lots of varied angles and really shutting down the area. And this lurk back here, unfortunate. Zep able to pick off Psycho there. Now a 3 versus 5. SNHU down to Showstopper again on deck, as well as the Seekers.
Ooh.
Oh, case.
A nice headshot there. John, though, is going to put him down, but Suka with the Bulldog finally getting it. The attention it needs. The Bulldog is so good. Blitz is going to get this peek as well, but the spray from the Odin is too strong. The Bulldog again, however, it is a 1v1, or sorry, a 1v2 with Asoto and Zep holding bomb here. Time. He just has to push him. There's nothing he can do. The wall comes out. He can try and get the pick, but it's not strong enough.
Now 10-1. Beacons hitting double digits right here. Last round of the half. They have the chance to make this 11-1. SNHU will be able to buy up for the final round of the half, which is extremely important for them.
Definitely.
If they can make this 10-2, that is wonderful. Because the issue you run into here, right? If Beacons take this next round, then the round that could put them at match point is a pistol round.
Exactly.
That is a coin flip.
It really is.
That is like what you really got to worry about, because you cannot rely on a strong pistol round unless you are specifically like there's some players who are pistol round specialists. You have to really be a pistol specialist. And John finds 2 right off the rip.
Right. John doesn't care. He wants his game to be done and over with. He's gonna push out with confidence, and he's able to get those 2 strong picks right away. Not to mention that they are the smokers and a duelist there, so retaking is just going to be so much harder. I mean, you do have Sky's blinds, but it's just so hard without that duelist ability there. And Zep is going to get Psycho there, and Suka will get Dylan though, making it a 2v4. But they do have lockdown there. If this is the last round, they could use that. But the Odin is too strong. Psycho there is going to get not a pick on Potato, and he's gonna push out, and he will get 2 actually, and the lockdown is gonna come out. But now making it a 1v2, Potato could possibly clutch this out, and we do see that alarm bar come out as well. He knows where they are, but Potato's just gonna push out. He doesn't have any fear in him at all, and I think he might be misguessing where the defenders could be there. And it's just gonna get that pick on him. Yeah,
that was the tough. That's like right at the range where you really don't want to be spraying with the Vandal, and actually is able to live. He got teleported back to spawn before the bomb could hit him. But now 11-1. This is exactly the nightmare scenario that we were talking about. The Beacons have potentially match point here if they win this pistol round, which you'll see they're spending money on. They want to be able to take this.
We already see Dylan there. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Dylan there, it looks like he's already ready to just satchel in onto A. I mean, we see that fade ultimate ability come out as well. I mean, he's already got the lineups done and ready. As soon as he gets a pick, or as soon as he gets a tag, you already know that that Dylan's just gonna be satcheling in there with a share for shorty, whatever. And
I'm also scared of Beacons here because they are really good at playing aggressive, and that is what is rewarded in pistol rounds. So this is definitely kind of their element here. We'll see how they feel on defense. They're actually not playing that aggressive. They did clear out C-Site, so they know that no one's in front of that. But for the rest of for B and A, they're really just playing back, waiting for SNHU to make a move, and just kind of playing safe. They want to be able to fall back for these retakes if they really need to. But that was inches away from a headshot.
So close from there. Just getting those random picks to beat everything. But as they push out, Case and Blitz will pick up 2 right away, possibly a 3rd. Both team members here getting 4 kills, making Asoto the last one remaining, and he has 1 death.
Didn't get the ult orb either. That
Oh
was
yeah, that's
unfortunate.
true.
The bomb got put down, so he wasn't able to collect it. Now 1 versus 5.
And they know where he is, and he has to kind of make a play here. I'm not too sure how well he can really do that. There are a lot of crossfires. He will get one, but Potato is just gonna swing that corner and will get that pick there. Now making it 2-11, and fortunately for SNHU, UMB did not get that round there, as the second round after pistols is typically a favorable win.
Yeah, that was really, really good for them. SNHU are able to set a little bit more of their tempo in this half. I'm actually kind of surprised that Beacons aren't forcing up at all. They've got rounds to spare.
That's
right?
true. They do have a lot of time.
Ton of time to work with if SNHU starts winning rounds. I'm surprised that they don't just buy up here.
I mean, they could, but then again, if SNHU does win this, they'll still keep this momentum of a snowball to kind of just keep getting more and more, because once you ruin your economy once, it's so hard to build back up, especially if you're constantly forcing.
Right,
I mean,
but SNHU have 10 rounds to win. There's so much time here, but the Beacons are playing it safe. They're playing it slow.
They are, and looks like
this is probably the correct way to play, but
most likely
it's a little bit less reward here, which they're already got a strong lead. So why not just play safe?
Right. I mean, I was going to say that even if they didn't have the guns there, they could have the read, as most of SNHU is towards C, and that's where UMB is. They're all really stacked on the C side there and kind of figuring out where they're going. And we actually see Case going to be the one on the rotate, is going to be the one to buy, is going to get one on Psycho there, possibly another on Zep. And this could be so good for him if he gets one on John here as well. A third, and they're all going to be pushing him left on 46 HP. He just has to run. This guy's going to be there to get him back up to 100. And if he peeks this again, he could be a possible ace. Osoto being super close. Going to die to Case. The last one to Dylan. It could be an ace. It could be good. It could be big. And it will be Case getting that ace, making it 3-11. SNHU taking that round.
Really, really nicely done. And again, it's an ace. It's also a flawless round. They didn't lose a single person.
That's true.
So they're going to hold on to all of their guns here, which is 4 rifles. SNHU kind of investing in their future a little bit. They're going into their bonus round with Bulldogs, which is awesome.
It's the best gun. It's the best gun there is. We already saw it before. The burst damage that you can do with a Bulldog is absolutely crazy. If you're already holding it at headshot level and you're ADSing with the Bulldog, that's 4 shots guaranteed into the head.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you not using the Bulldog? It's so good.
Super solid eco weapon. It is not a bad gun to have at all. But we'll see as UMB play very aggressive here, securing sort of a lobby here, starting to make their way into B. They're taking space, and they are clearing out areas here that through process of elimination, they've already kind of figured out where SNHU have to be, which is outside B and A, which is correct. They are right.
That's true. They kind of have to be stuck in this little area here, especially with eco weapons. Not having that regular damage you do with the Vandal, especially towards body shots, just not gonna be strong enough in long range. Soto is he's gonna see a bunch of players there, not really sure what to really hit. Is just gonna fall to blitz there, and now SNHU is gonna be able to get bombed down for this site, and all they really have to do now is just wait for UMB to push. As long as they're not being on the attack for no reason, I think SNHU is pretty safe to win this round almost. I mean, Dylan's on 2 HP.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for the Beacons. The good thing is that they still have their smokes and they still have their flashes if they need them. Dylan pushing forward here. Case finds a double kill. That could be huge.
Yeah, Zep is going to get Case though, and Blitz will get that kill on Dylan. Now only left with Zep. Having a full Vandal there and a full health can be great, but Blitz again getting his 3rd pick is just going to shut him down before any more can happen there. Now creeping up a little bit towards the 11. I mean, I know it's only been 3 rounds, but once you say it's only 3 rounds, then it's only 4, it's only 5, and then then it's like you're neck and neck again.
Things can get away from you faster than they seem. But UMB, if they just play their economy right, they will get the chance to get guns and then actually be able to try and take the fight against SNHU. But SNHU, like we said, they took the bonus round. That's a really good sign if you're a team that needs to play perfect in this half.
Oh, 100%.
Because that is a round that you've got a tough time in. We'll see now. Case just trying to ward off the defenders rushing him down.
Yeah, it could be really scary
Ooh.
there. Blitz gonna get the headshot, but Dylan with the Sheriff is gonna push out even more. Case just gonna hold his angle, and I suppose they're just gonna peek him one by one. But full blinded, John's not gonna see that. Potato picking up from Case and getting both.
Wow.
All kills of UMB just running out. I mean,
that was some incredible coverage right
Yeah.
there. They protected Case while he retreated, full flashed, and he still made it out of there while two people tried to peek into him but just weren't expecting him to rotate out of that position that fast. Really great defense there from SNHU. And I say defense, they're on the attacking side. That's something to note. That is the issue with playing so aggressive on defenders, is that the map is not built for it necessarily. You know, you're pushing somewhat unfavorable angles right there, and you're really just kind of it's a little bit of an ego play. You're hoping that you will just hit your shots more than the other team does.
I mean, they were peeking out one by one, so I mean, like there was that time
you
where
don't
they
want to trickle too. Yeah,
that's true. And I mean, it's whatever. It was an eco round. They just wanted to get it over with, and I don't blame them for that at all. But SNHU is looking like they're getting a little bit more aggressive than we've seen in these previous rounds, where they normally take their time. They're getting really close to sight. I mean, with a minute or so left, and with Psycho being stuck in tree, could get a possible interaction from Psycho, but he will get two Blitz and Sequo right off the bat. Suka gonna get John and Dylan as well, getting Suka there, now making it a 2v4. They do have a Viper's Pit, which can be great for post plant. However, they just don't have bomb, and that's just not favorable to them. And this round's gonna drag out a lot more.
And this is like such a defensible position for Beacons. Like Potato can try and pop this door. He will. He's gonna get out of the way right away. He's just trying to kind of spook him while Case starts to make his way up from behind. But this dark cover here, he catches Psycho!
We'll get two. Getting those two headshots can be so important there. Now having that Viper's Pit and now having Bomb, both players of UMB are going to be on the flank right now. We do see that pit being popped as well, and that's going to be such a bigger advantage for SNHU, because now UMB have to push out into these into the pit where they don't know if it's covered or not, with both of them being on the flank here.
And Case is able to hold this pit from in this room.
That's
the scary part. There are so many places that Case could be right now. He could also be in the middle room, in the middle of the site. It's a tough spot to be in, but seeing the Viper's Bite come up from around this corner, they have a good idea of where he is, and they're starting to try and track him down. This turret also trying to lock him down, but Seth slowly moving up.
Ooh, this could be scary. Here he is going to get that pick, but their healths are going to be so low. They need to push out right away. Soto being left on such a low HP is going to get half. Will he get the full defuse? No, he won't. A 0.67.
Half a second away.
That is crazy. The way they played that was so weird. I figure if you're Viper and you're Case in that situation,
right.
I feel like at that point you should just play lineups. You know, wait for the tap. And I mean, I feel like just to be shooting, I feel like you should have Potato be doing all that shooting of the Prowlers or whatever they're called.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was just a kind of unfortunate play that happened there, where he tried to peek into a Soto, which would have been a great peek, but he just got too close to his wall and it green screened him, and he couldn't see anything, while that Killjoy could see him perfectly. Just a slight positioning issue that almost cost them the round. By half a second, it did not, which is way too close for comfort, but so you kicked off here. Both teams already down a player. Blitz finds a second.
Yeah, getting the gun advantage here is just going to be great, because you know that UMB is just going to be pushing out super fast there. The Stinger not getting enough justice, but the Sheriff will gonna get that kill on Case, and that only means that they have a weapon upgrade here with them. They're gonna plan towards CT there. Now that they have control of the site, they know that both players are gonna be on the flank here, and Dylan does have the showstopper, but it's also an eco round. So at the same time, it's kind of a little bit of a trade-off there, and they're not exactly in the right position, but they do.
But here's the thing,
they
right?
do have a handle.
They're holding from CC. They're in a tiny little constrained
that is
hallway.
So true.
And they know if they're not on site, they have to be over there. This showstopper could find some value, but it's up to Potato to stop it.
Oh, John gonna get the kill on Potato, left on 5 HP. The wall could do a lot of damage, but it just doesn't look like he's gonna be able to get the defuse there. Being left in that area, you're just unsure where the attackers could be in that situation. And now after a 5-round win streak, we are seeing that gap between 1 and 11 closed very quickly here at 7-11. That's what, a 4-round difference, and that's not a lot.
Yeah, they've got some time to go here. UMB can still try and stabilize. They've got 5 ults on deck. They have been saving these almost all half. They finally have these. They need to start making some plays with them because they can really skew rounds in their favor if they use those intelligently. That is how you force rounds to your benefit, and that's something that your team is going to get regardless if they're winning or losing. They're going to get their ults eventually. That's going to let you, regardless of gunplay, start to secure rounds. So they need to start utilizing that. SNHU, they just need to keep playing the way they have been. They've been playing phenomenally so far.
100%. I mean, not to mention they do have the Astral Divide plus the Showstopper. That Showstopper can at least guarantee maybe one, but even if they don't even get a pick, you're opening up so much space there.
Everyone has to retreat.
Yeah, I was going to say, we are going to see that Omen ultimate come out, and he's going to get a lot of information on where SNHU really is. And Case and Potato there are going to lurk on A, but it looks like they may be trying to do a rotate, maybe switching up things a little bit, because Omen getting that information just kind of ruins their plan of that 3-2 split there. Now kind of fully coming on to A is gonna be it's gonna be great for SNHU, but Psycho in this little tree area is just so scary.
35 seconds on the clock. They have to push into him here.
The blind is bad. It's so bad. Blitz is gonna get the kill on Psycho though, and just the one player that he didn't blind there is gonna push out on to Sight, and UMB just have to play back. Zep gonna get Case. The Showstopper comes out as well. The spike is down. The Satchel's coming out. Is able to get a kill on Suka there, just barely getting them. And Blitz in that little corner, the Satchel's gonna knock him back. The Showstopper as well, gonna fight fire with fire. Gonna get one pick right away. Now switching to another gun there, blinding 2 players. John is gonna get both players, and that's gonna be 7-12, making it one away, making it one away from the game.
Match point.
It is match point right now.
It's SNHU has to play flawless from here on out. If they drop another round, the set is over. UMB clinch it out, and SNHU have got 6 rounds to go before that happens. So they've been playing flawlessly up until last round, where UMB spent 3 of their ultimates. So they did cash in a lot. They still have 2 though. They have got the Fade ultimate and the Killjoy ultimate, which are so good at creating and controlling space.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to mention that both abilities kind of help with the retake. I mean, Lockdown kind of pushes the enemies away. With Fade's ultimate, the Nightfall, they can't hear anything. I mean, you could run, and just a bunch of whispering, a lot of distractions as well.
And SNHU, importantly, do not have a way to destroy the Lockdown through walls.
That is true.
They don't have the Sova, so they need to peek it and kill it. And that can create so much space here for UMB in a post-plant situation.
True, but they also have their own lockdown as well as a Seekers here. Potato could be using that right here, right now on C. I wonder if they will counter it with their own lockdown, but it just doesn't look like they have enough team members to really kind of support that. But the Astral Wall coming out as well, having 2 abilities, 2 ultimates being used to really secure their spot onto C. We do see Case on the flank though, a little bit playing really sneaky here, but Asoto is gonna get Potato with that mirror matchup. And the Prowler coming out as well. Most of UMB is going to be stuck in that little tunnel area, and they just kind of have to hold this. And that wall falls. The wall's going to be falling soon, and it did. 3 of them are going to push out. Blitz is going to get 1. Asoto going to get Blitz there, and
they have to be off site. They have to be off site. They're deafened on their way back in. They can't really stop Asoto aside from that gravity well. Case came from behind though and did stop him. It's just Case left. But he is in a corner right now, man.
He is. He has to try and really clutch things out here. Gonna be able to get 1 on John. Those mollies have to do so much damage, but they just stick it. They just stick it there. Unfortunately,
that's tough.
Viper did not have the smoke to get that insta 50 and the constant ticking, and the snakebite just doesn't do enough damage.
Yeah, it's when the bomb is already halfway, you can't rely on them faking it. You have to peek it if they tap it, because it's only a few seconds before the round is over, and with that, the set is over. UMB take it, and really greatly played from them as well. We saw some great stuff from SNHU tonight as well, but UMB, man, I think the name of the game for them is just chaotic, unpredictable.
Yeah, 100%.
That is exactly how they took this.
Yeah, unpredictable for sure. I mean, both teams played very, very well here. We saw in Haven where they both both went into overtime. And we saw again in Lotus where they literally were just able to come back from 11 to 1. They didn't get it over their heads, and they got a pretty strong lead, and that's hard to do. It's not easy. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, it was almost a comeback story. Unfortunately, not tonight. But yeah, that's all for us tonight. Thank you for coming in and watching some Valorant tonight. It's always a fun time. We'll be back tomorrow with Smash Bros versus New England College, so be sure to check that out. And speaking of Smash Bros, Granite State Grind is dropping on the 22nd. That is this Sunday.
And my birthday.
And
don't forget it.
And
mark your calendars.
You better show up to wish Madava a happy birthday.
Do it.
Because if you don't, he's gonna cry.
I will cry.
And
I will post it on Twitter.
It'll be your fault, just so you know. But yeah, be sure to keep an eye on our Twitter for updates regarding any sort of future streams, anything like that, as well as info about GSG.
Yeah, and also be following us on our TikTok, our Insta, our Twitch. Make sure you're subbed or not subbed. Make sure you're followed.
Yeah, spend money right now.
Do it now. Support the stream. Turn notifications on, and always be ready for a SNHU esports live stream, because then you won't be a fan if you don't do that.
That's true.
But without further ado, 3 of them here, and we do see that Cypher lurking again once more, but they are going to go for the A plan as well with the Sova ultimate, and the breach stun as well is going to mobilize. The spike is down, the satchel's coming out, is able to get a kill on Suka there, just barely getting them, and Blitz in that little corner, the satchel's going to knock him back. The showstopper as well, going to fight fire with fire.
As you can with other flashes, but Blitz playing extremely far forward right here, and is actually able to catch Dylan out. A lot of kills coming out for SNHU, and they're able to just quickly.
Was the only one. He did get some information there. Left out 9 HP, is able to get one, and Blitz is gonna be the only one remaining.
This is a scary spot to be in, but he's able to get the final shot, take out Psych.
Caught in the reload is gonna fall, and it's all down to Potato there. Left with 2 people that are just in different areas. We'll get one. And now we'll get the other on Zeb. Potato here in that corner, and unfortunately not going to be able to hit the shots correctly and just miss some shots here. But Suka from flanking all the way around is going to get one, is going to get 2, and the headshot on the other, but is not able to finish up the B. And Suka is going to start this round off as well with getting that pick on Dylan there as they start to kind of push out as well. Potato will get that kill. Psycho going to get one on
finds a Soto. That is a huge pick to get.
Dylan's got his back though. He's going to be in that corner there, and the turret is going to get some information, and Psycho will help finish that off as well.
So got to hold this down. A lot of people not in the site yet, and Soto is going to be able to exploit that. Gets caught with his camera out, but no big deal. He's going to take down Blitz as well, and that's just Case outside of sight.
Yeah, Bilbo as well, but Psycho is just playing in such a weird angle, especially with this Odin. Could just catch him off guard here, but it doesn't. Blitz will get that headshot, will get 2, now making it a 1v. I mean, that meta has not changed.
That was a spray right there. We'll see the divide coming out to block off Heaven as well.
Oh my god, Psycho! Getting 3 picks there, that TP as well. They're not going to push through this. They're going to wait for him to come out there, and he will get the kill, making it a 3v4.
And that's Sova dead as well. We'll see Spike trying to get...
What is happening?
Way too close.
So there with the blind coming out, he's going to get most of the team, and he's pushing out, and the cage pops, and they don't know he's in there. But Zep is able to get him right away, getting 2. He's going to stop SNHU's push, but Suka in the corner is going to get 2, 3 right away. They get him back up to 100, and if he picks this again, he could be a possible ace. Soto being super close, going to die to Case. Last one to Dylan. It could be an ace, it could be good, it could be big, and it will be. Push out even more. Case just gonna hold his angle, and I suppose they're just gonna peek him one by one. We're full blinded. John's not gonna see that. Potato picking up from Case and getting both.
Wow.
All kills of there, and even if there was one, there are 3 of them here, and we do see that Cypher lurking again once more, but they are gonna go for the A plan as well with the Sova ultimate, and the breach stun as well is gonna mobilize. The spike is down, the satchel's coming out, is able to get a kill on Suka there, just barely getting them, and Blitz in that little corner, the satchel's gonna knock him back. The showstopper as well, gonna fight fire with fire.
As you can with other flashes, but Blitz playing extremely far forward right here, and is actually able to catch